Fog Wrestling back again with another That Time When, and we are looking back to the year of 2004, 19 years ago, and it is that time when Chris Benoit won the 2004 Royal Rumble. For obvious reasons, right, this match is never really going to be talked about in WWE history, but in my opinion, it's a very weird and overlooked Royal Rumble match, because if you look at the roster at the time, of course, right, you've got Cena in this match, right? Cena, massive. I say massive star. You don't need to hear me say that, right? But for the time of this, right, it's early 2004. You know, your stars at this time were the likes of Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Undertaker, albeit Undertaker was out injured because after getting buried alive at Survivor Series, right? But it's a weird one, this Rumble, because I feel like it's actually, there's not an awful lot of like the headlining stars in it, because I mean the biggest star in this match, you've got Goldberg and Kurt Angle, right? Of course you do have Benoit and Cena, but let's be real, Benoit and Cena aren't on the level of Goldberg and Angle just yet, right? For obvious reasons. You've got Rob Van Dam as well. It's in Jericho, but like, let's be real, Jericho and Van Dam in 2004, they're not on a level of what they could be. Same with Christian, right? They're not nowhere near their peak of where they're holding titles at this point. You do have also Mick Foley in this match, but I feel like it was a very mid-card / upper mid-card heavy match, but it doesn't take away from how good the match itself was. It was still a very great match, and in terms of the build-up, from the SmackDown point of view, of course, back in these days, you had qualifiers, which I mean is the best way to build up their Rumble. Obviously there's better ways of doing it, like, you know, 2002, you've Triple H, Undertaker, Austin. Cocky playing by Kid Rock, chair shots, tombstones, stunners, all the best of gear. Absolutely unreal. But here, you kind of got Paul Heyman completely going against Cena and Benoit. That's like the whole feud from the SmackDown point of thing, and Heyman actually makes Benoit entrant number one. Of course, you're not actually going to hear an awful lot about this winner for number one. But in terms of the Rumble itself, we did kick off with Benoit at number one, of course, and then Randy Orton at number two. And we kind of had a dynamic of where like these two just like last it, more or less. Not the whole thing, because of course Randy Orton gets eliminated by Mick Foley a bit later on in this match. But like I said earlier, it does feel like a match that just has like, you know, mid-carders in it. And I don't want to downplay it, because I still really enjoy this Rumble, but if we just look at the first 15 participants, right, so you kick off with Benoit and Orton, right? Benoit, alright, this is pushed back to like main event level in my opinion, because well, I mean, he wins the fucking title at Mania, so it has to be. Orton is a member of Evolution. He's not quite, you know, no, he's nowhere near Legend Killer yet. He's not even at like near like 6 months time where he wins the belt off Triple H sort of level yet either. Number 3 is Mark Henry. Mark Henry, at this time, he's the bum. He's another guy on SmackDown. Tajiri, Bradshaw, Rhino. 3 mid-carders. Bradshaw's probably the worst bit of his career right now before he comes JBL. We then had Matt Hardy, who, yeah, again, mid-carder. Scott Steiner, who, you know, WCW champion. He should have been treated so much better in WWE, but he wasn't. We had Matt Morgan, again, not particularly great. We then had the Hurricane, and he lasted 19 seconds. That tells you all you need to know. Booker T, a guy, you know, 5-time WCW champion, King Booker, all that good stuff, but kind of in the limbo at this point his career. Kane, of course, he's going into the feud with Undertaker, but he's nowhere, at this point, Kane is nowhere near the level that he was like a few months ago, in my opinion. When he took off his mask, he was fucking absolute machine, man, with padlocks on him. Even when he was like, even in the triple threat match for like, Goldberg and Triple H. I know this is only like a wee bit after that, but I just feel like his stock at this point has already went down. Personally, Spike Dudley, alright, he gets wiped out and is replaced. Then you've got Rikishi. Well, don't really. Spike Dudley actually never really gets placed. Kane just batters him. Rikishi, it's not like it's his 2000 run. The number 15 is Rene Dupree. I mean, if you want to go to the next 3, we've got Adrian, Benjamin, and Ernest Miller. So, I mean, out the first 18, if you're talking about people who could realistically win this Mania match, you've probably got Kane, Booker T, Orton, and Benoit. And even when I say that, right, like, there's just no way at this time was Kane winning the Rumble or Booker T. If Kane hadn't won the Rumble when he was masked, or in other years when he's more over, he wasn't going to win it here, right? He wasn't. After this, so you did have like the likes of Kurt Angle at number 19, of course, you know, a big favourite to win this match. You had Rico, never going to win it. You had Jericho, Christian, who could have won it, I guess, but maybe not Christian, definitely not. It's not like it's 2005 yet. Foley was never going to win this. Cena, Van Dam, Goldberg were the last three entrants. I guess those three could have won it. But of course, like I say, you did have like Mick Foley coming out, eliminating Orton. Undertaker's music goes off, which Kane basically eliminates himself. Goldberg, when he enters, I mean, he does a couple of absolutely insane spears to the likes of fucking Nunzio. Absolutely mental that was. But, you know, eventually, troops, it does get down to our final two. It does get down to Big Show and Big Match John. Not John, it's Benoit. See, I almost got you there. He's fought. WWE would probably like you to think that no one won this match. Big Show threw himself over the top rope, but guess what? It was Big Match Benoit. Of course, crossface, locks him in. Big Show tries to throw him over the top. He's got the sleeper hold in though, and Benoit fucking drags him over the top rope. Great ending, epic ending in my opinion. A very unique finish to a Rumble match. But sadly, we'll never get talked about again. And Benoit won it, and he went on to challenge Triple H for the title at Mania, and then of course Shawn Michaels was inserted into that match as well. But that's not for this video, that's for a different day. Of course, and I believe they've actually took that ending at the network, which is very fucking sad, like, but it is what it is, troops. And that is it for that time when Chris Benoit won the 2004 Royal Rumble. Leave your thoughts down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, peace.